Greetings, internetizens. This is Elmerthien playing Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. Now, so far it seems to be recording properly. I hope it works out. I'm pre-recording for a vacation. yeah. Anyways, in the last episode, the team was forcibly split up. The lawyer team, Phoenix and Maya, went to talk to Espella, and she was just about to reveal why people are suspecting her of being Bezella. Meanwhile, the professor and Luke were summoned to meet the storyteller in his audience room. Espella's in the dungeon. I couldn't believe the creator of Elmerthien knows of the professor. I'm sure it's a trap. Be on your guard, Professor. What if it's Darklaw summoning us? What if Darklaw mind controlled the storyteller? Huh? Professor, the door won't open. Hello? Is anybody there? This doesn't count as a secret puzzle because it's an obligatory puzzle. No reply. It appears there is no keyhole. This is no ordinary lock mechanism. Inviting someone to visit you only to lock them out? That's a bit rude. Just a moment, Luke. If you look closely, you'll see there's a puzzle built in there. I believe this may be a test, Luke. A test to determine whether we qualify for an audience with the storyteller or not. That's a bit off, isn't it? But when it comes to puzzles, we'll be glad to oblige, won't we, Professor? Indeed, my boy. Let's show our mettle. Here is a panel of numbers. That numbers range between 1 and 6. Touching the buttons on the touchscreen will increase and decrease the numbers. Arrange the numbers to read 3333. Do it in 4 turns. I think I have got it. Or not.
Allow me to show you my puzzle-solving skills. That was indeed an intriguing puzzle.
Oh, wait, was I under a limit?
We did it, Professor! That should open the door.
It would seem that we have proven ourselves worthy.
Labyrinthia's creator is waiting for us inside.
The creator of this town. I wonder what he intends to say. Are you all right, Luke? I imagine you must be a little nervous.
Who, me? Well, to be honest, I suppose I am. Just a little. But don't worry, Professor. I can do this. Let's go. Let's meet the storyteller.
Very well. Muster your courage. We're going in.
Right you are, Professor.
I'm just not sure about the volume in here. Oh, a dress.
And thus the guests finally made their appearance.
He's got it all plotted out, doesn't he? Maybe he's the villain. Of course he's got an owl. Why is it
bid
purple?
you welcome to Labyrinthium, the town governed by stories. I've been waiting for you, Professor Layton.
I believe I should say it is an honor, Mr. Storyteller.
Perhaps we've got some mysteries to figure out here.
You're the creator of Labyrinthia. But why did you call the professor here?
I have summoned you so that I may ask you why you are here.
What? Of course, we don't really belong in this town. We haven't been mind-wiped.
I beg your pardon?
What are you talking about?
In writing the story, I provide everything, and in turn, take everything away.
Oh, spooky.
I give each person a story, and weave their intertwining webs of fate. However, it would appear that interlopers have found their way into the story.
What's up with the world building? Is there anything outside the town?
The two of you,
You mean to say that my presence here was not written in your story?
precisely. And so I must ask you, exactly how did you find your way into this world?
I think we were abducted.
In truth, we found ourselves here somewhat inadvertently.
We got isekai'd by a wagon.
We were brought here by a book called the Historia Labyrinthia. I am led to believe it was you who wrote that book. Surely you cannot deny it.
It would appear I have found it. The source of the corruption within my story.
Corruption? Is it Darklaw?
In other words, you consider our presence to be a hindrance to your story. Is that correct?
Not only you. There was another man who tried to change the course of my story.
Yeah.
Ah,
You mean Carmina Accidenti?
And Phoenix?
Carmine. So, there is a connection between him and the two of you after all.
Oops.
Your presence here is, shall I say, a slight inconvenience. The story of Labyrinthia is about to take a turn towards its grand finale.
Oh, will it be a good ending?
grand finale?
Indeed, a conclusion that requires a climax of epic proportions.
Big monster fight.
The identity of the great witch Espella is made public. She is tried in the court and finally destroyed. At last, peace will be restored to the town. The final scenario is close at hand.
Are we getting a final case already? There can't be only 3 cases.
The identity of the Great Witch? Do you mean...
Ah,
And we're back here. It's true that the townsfolk look at me in a different way. And the reason for that is because I am the storyteller's daughter. But why would he want to kill his own daughter off? You're... what? Espella! You're the storyteller's daughter? I didn't see that coming. When I first came down into the town, everyone was friendly. Perhaps they thought that if they got to know me, things would go well for them. That was the impression I had. That sounds like the kind of thing people would probably do. But obviously not me. I wouldn't do anything like that. No one's accusing you of anything, Maya. But unfortunately, things didn't work out the way people hoped they would. Well, people should realize that good things don't come easily. then one day someone just happened to bump into me in the town, and I was knocked over. Later that night, that same person was attacked by a witch and killed by her magic. I don't know whether it was just a coincidence or not, but after that, everyone's attitude towards me changed. They started saying things like, it's best to keep away from her or you'll have a bad story written about you. All because I'm the storyteller's daughter. Well, just avoid hurting her, right? What's the storyteller thinking? What do you mean? Well, he has his daughter stuck in a place like this. And if he didn't write such a bad story, she wouldn't have to suffer like this. You have a good point there, Maya. Anyway, the investigation has only just begun. Espella, if it's okay with you, I'd like to ask you a few more questions. Of course, I'd like to help in any way I can. I've got... yeah? This might be difficult for you to answer, but why are you not living with the storyteller? I mean, with your father? I did live with him before. We lived together on the edge of the town, in the storyteller's tower. The storyteller's tower. When I was little, he was very kind and always listened to what I had to say. But then, at some point or other, he started to become distant. If you think about it, I guess it's only natural. Because he had to write the story for every single person in the town. Espella. As he became busier and busier, I was left alone in the tower. And that's the reason I decided to leave home with Eve and live in the town. I stayed with Aunt Patty and helped out at the bakery. Now you two are at the shop too. But my dad... oh, what's the deal with the storyteller? I can't believe he'd write a story where his own daughter is the great witch Bezella. Maybe the professor will be able to find out the storyteller's true motives. And what about Patty? Does she know anything about your past? Have you ever told her that you're the storyteller's daughter? Yes, she knows. When the other people in the town started avoiding me, Aunt Patty was the only one who stood by me the whole time. Yeah, Pat is always looking out for you. There is so much I have to thank her for. It's been 5 years since I left my dad and started living with Aunt Patty. She's always been so kind. She's been like a mother to me. Now that you mention it, what about your real mother, Espella? She... actually, I can't remember anything about her. According to my dad, she died in an accident when I was still young. And that's really all I know. He didn't tell me any more than that. I see. Espella, we believe in you. There's no way you can be the Great Witch Bezella. That's right. That's why we'll find the real Great Witch. The real Great Witch? But the Great Witch is only a character of legend. How could you possibly find her? Well, admittedly, at the moment we have no real leads. Actually, to be honest, we know next to nothing about Labyrynthia. We were supposed to have been living with you for 5 years now, but that memory turned out to be completely phony. Do you have any ideas at all, Espella? Anything that could give us a clue? I guess it's a lot to ask. All magic-related incidents are thoroughly investigated by the Knights of the Inquisition. And if there were any clues as to the whereabouts of the Great Witch, then I believe they would have found them. I guess you're right. As far as I know, there's not a single incident that has remained unsolved by the Inquisitors. You don't know about the dead alchemist? Wait a minute, that's not right. What is it, Maya? The part about there being no unsolved incidents left. Well, it's all kind of staged by the storyteller, all plotted out. What? Last night, me and Luke ran into High Inquisitor Darklaw. Oh, yeah. Of course, she knows. She knows about the alchemist. Wait, what? You saw High Inquisitor Darklaw? Yup. She said she was investigating some kind of incident with magic. She said that it took place 3 months ago, I think. Apparently it's the only incident that has remained unsolved. An unsolved incident? Oh! Now that you mention it, I remember hearing rumors about such a case. The only magic incident in Labyrinthia to remain unsolved, huh? Espella, about that incident, could you tell us about it in more detail? I'll have to ask you to stop right there, Defender. Visiting time is up. You're to leave immediately. No way! We just got to the good part. Mr. Wright, Maya, I really don't know much about that incident, but perhaps you could try asking an Inquisitor about it. Okay, Espella, thanks for the help. Alright, we'll see you again real soon. Keep your spirits up, Espella. Maya's talking about spirits. Thank you. Take care, both of you. Mr. Wright, Maya, they're both doing so much for me. I wonder if there's anything I could do for both of them in return. The Great Witch Bezella, until now, I hadn't given it much thought. The Great Witch, the legendary fire, flames, inferno. Oh my, what is this? My head hurts. Are you having more visions? Yeah, she's having a vision.
What was that?
Are you psychic?
Inferno.
Do you have past vision?
Were these things my memories?
What are you? Would you be a reincarnation or something? This town's one and only unsolved incident of magic. I'm sure she said something about an alchemist who lost their life to a witch. Oh wait, no, she's an extra-universal entity. She could be she's technically older than the town, isn't she? But still. An alchemist was attacked? That sounds like a serious case. You got that from High Inquisitor Darklaw, huh? Right? That's right. When I was searching for Eve last night, I meant to tell you about it, but it totally slipped my mind. The only unsolved incident, huh? That's suspicious, alright. This might just be the lead that will take us to the Great Witch. Okay, let's get to investigating. We can do this thing. Yeah, so I guess first we should check out the Inquisitor's Hall, right? We might just learn something there. Sure, let's get going. On the other hand, we may just learn how unwelcome we are there. Hey, come on, Nick, enough with that wishy-washy attitude. I didn't even say anything. You're telepathic. Oh yes, there are some peeps here. Well, there's one extra person. Oh, this guy! Oh, it makes me so mad. What's the problem? It's my neighbor. He's got this really annoying habit. Annoying habit? He just loves stomping around his place all the time. Thanks to him, all the books in my house are now a complete mess. Not to mention I can't get any sleep. It does sound like a serious problem. Can you even imagine how loud it is? Well, not exactly. That's what I thought. I knew you couldn't, so let me just reproduce it for you. You'll truly be amazed. Sound puzzle? No. Stomping around. The house's floorboards are in complete disarray, much to the displeasure of the owner. He decided to stomp the problem out. The tiles will flip over. We can jump over these thingies. Well, almost there, almost there. Oh, no, 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 no. nice roast chicken.
Your Honor, there is a clear contradiction in this puzzle. This ace attorney just aced this
A
puzzle.
contradiction now? So what did you think of that? Wasn't that stomping just ridiculous? I've had enough already. Then why don't you just pack your things and move out? Move out? Move out? Hey, that's a great idea. I'll come and stay in the library instead. I could be of more help to Miss Snare, and I'd be surrounded by all these books. This is the greatest idea ever. No, Dewey. I'm sorry, but I must insist that you leave and go home. Well, Maya, let's just pretend like nothing ever happened and get going ourselves. Sometimes life doesn't go quite the way you want it to, huh? I know you. You're both acquaintances of the professor, aren't you? I was at the trial last night. I saw the whole thing. Oh, you were there too. I guess the witch trial really does get the townsfolk interested. Indeed, especially last night, on account of the defendant being Espella Cantabella. But I must admit, you amazed me. I did? Very much. It was the first time I had ever seen a defender fight that way for his client. For example, the way you used the word contradiction in the courtroom. It worked almost like magic. But that's only natural for a defense attorney. Until now, the defender was always defeated the moment they stood before Inquisitor Barnum. Not only that, but in this town, there's no one who wants to befriend a witch. That's just not how a trial should be. That's not justice. I believe Professor Layton made the right decision giving you the Grand Grimoire. And from now on, I hope you will continue to fight for justice in court. Alright, you've got it. Oh, her hairpins are books. Now then, this conversation has become rather heavy, don't you think? If it's okay with you, I have something to lighten the mood. Oh, then that means I have... yeah... Can't get there? Only... out of the main team, the professor is allowed. Oh, this person? Hey, it's you too? Oh, did you want to speak to us? I need to have a word with you both. Thanks to your turning courtroom procedure upside down, we're in a fine mess now. Finding a defendant innocent is unprecedented in the history of the witch's court. We've just made history. What do you mean? I'm pretty sure trying innocent people is more of a problem than your precious procedure. What are you trying to say? That girl is being held on suspicion of being the Great Witch Bezella. Defending her only invites suspicion upon your own complicity. That's a false accusation. That's right. There's not a shred of evidence against Espella. No matter what you say, she is the most likely suspect. Anyway, if I stand around talking to you for too long, I'll invite suspicion upon myself. So from now on, I would appreciate it if you would keep your distance. But you're the one who approached us, really? You? Oh, it's the pigeons again. I thought the girl might have a puzzle. And just the pigeons flying away. Oh, you. What's the matter? Are you lost or something? Course not. How could I be lost? You listen to me. Have you two seen a young boy about the same age as me? Nope, can't say we have. What's up? Did you get separated? Nuh-uh, we haven't been separated. More like he went and ran off somewhere on his own. Oh, I see. Well, if we see him, we'll bring him back here to you. That's right. He's probably a little worried as well. He's a scaredy cat. Who said I was worried? Just that. You know, Cecil, he's such a little weakling crybaby. He's probably crying his eyes out somewhere right now. Well, maybe you screwed him up by treating him this way. That wimp can't do anything without me by his side. When he feels sick, he can't even go for medicine without me. So, I get it. It's only natural that you're worried about him. So, his name's Cecil, right? Don't worry, we're on it. If we see a crybaby fitting that description, we'll give you a shout. Well, we saw... No. Alan isn't her age. Oh, hello! Your sister is looking for you. Hey, Nick! That kid, he must be... Hey, you're right. He must be the one that little girl was searching for. Okay, let's talk to him then. Hi there, Cecil. Who are you? A moment ago we met a little girl who asked us to help her find a missing crybaby. You're Cecil, right? My sister Petal said that. That's right. She's been worried about you. Petal always tells me not to talk to strangers. What? I mean, you might just grab me and take me off somewhere. You might even be a witch. Well, in that case, there's nothing we can do. See you around, kid. Oh, come on, Nick. You promised his sister. Listen, if I'm going to be suspected of being a witch's accomplice, I'd rather just hand this kid over to one of the patrolling knights. Okay, please could you solve this puzzle for me? If you're the kind of people who can solve puzzles, I believe in you. Little girl's favorite dirt block train set. We're doing anachronism here. Ended up crashing and breaking apart into pieces. The pieces for each individual carriage managed to stay separate. Maybe they've got horse trains. Well. Two skinny ones. Right? How many sharps? How many acute angles? Yeah, I see 2 pointies on A. And 2 big wheels. R-E. And looking at these little spikes. And it's C that has more spikes.
Maya the Magnificent strikes again. All in a day's work for Maya Fey, Ace Assistant.
That's great. You two aren't strangers after all. Yeah, of course we're not. I mean, do I look like some stranger? Well, you don't look strange yourself. But those clothes you wear sure are weird. Nick, I think we should go. Maya, we can't give up now. After all, we just solved the puzzle. Okay, name one thing strange about my clothes. One. I could give you a laundry list of things. Anyway, we'll go and get your sister. You just wait here for a while, okay? Okay. Oi, Cecil! Why did you let go of my hand and run off? I'm sorry, sis. At least we're back together now, right? Shh, so what? I couldn't care less one way or the other. But anyway, from now on, don't you go running off like that, got it? Oh, this is... There you go, problem solved. It feels good helping people out like this. Even so, that was a tough puzzle. I was wondering if we'd ever actually solve it for a second there. Yeah, but we have what it takes, Nick. I could see us going pro at this whole puzzle solving thing, just like the professor. If we get stuck on a case, we could always consider changing jobs. I'll think about it. I'm sure being a medium would come in handy for an archaeologist, although faces are hard to reconstruct with the help of computers. Never heard that bell ring. Just some fruit and veggies. That's the woods. It's the lantern. Oh, I expected some talking. Hey Knights, do you have a puzzle for us? Wait a minute, that aggressive bark. Please tell me that isn't... Constantine. He looks happy to see us. Wish I could say the feeling was mutual. Once bitten, twice shy. That pretty much sums me up right now. Really? I don't know. I think he's looking much friendlier today if you ask me. See? Come on, Nick, pet him just once. Woof. Woof, woof. Ah, this mutt really hates me. Well, if it isn't Sir Blue Knight. Exactly what are you doing over on all fours? Oh, Inquisitor Barnum. Glad to see you again. Actually, there's something we'd like to ask you about. Come on, Nick. Stand up already. Oh, I'd like to meet that mutt's owner face to face. How foolish. Constantine happens to be mine, and a true knight's companion he is. He needn't waste time sinking his teeth into the likes of you. I had a hunch. So Constantine really is your dog, huh? God, I admire the nerve of this guy. He just sits back and lets his dog bite people. I mean, me. Never mind that. What is it that you want to talk about? Just make it quick, Sir Blue Knight. So, you Inquisitors are the ones who investigate incidents of magic in this town, aren't you? Yes, of course. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you about that unsolved incident with magic. There's one thing you must never forget. The Knights of the Inquisition excel at their work. Right. All incidents of magic perpetrated by the witches are dealt with by the Inquisitors, without exception. Spoken with that usual calm and collected air of confidence. That's interesting. You see, we are different. Apparently there's one particular incident that still remains unsolved. Something about an alchemist being murdered. Ring any bells? What? Who did you get that information from? Well, High Inquisitor Darklaw. Well, why the blazes didn't you say so? You could have saved us some time. How is it my fault? The High Inquisitor has put me on the spot by leaking such information to the likes of you. Well, I suppose that leaves nothing for it. Yeah, that information was supposed to be covered up. That ruins the propaganda campaign. I shall tell you the whole story, since I do not believe in doing things by halves. Please go ahead, we're all ears. It was 3 months ago when an alchemist living near the town square was murdered. Sorry, Inquisitor Barnum, but I'm kinda lost already. Is there a difference between alchemy and magic? When it comes to something that difficult, it will do no good asking me. Huh? It seems that while the townspeople respected him, they also treated him with caution. They respected him? He used his skills to make medical concoctions and acted much like a physician. The efficacy of his cures was almost like magic. He was famous within his neighborhood. In fact, he was sometimes referred to as Dr. Belduke by the townspeople. Belduke? Murdered near the bell tower? At any rate, it's safe to say that Sir Belduke was no witch. How can you say for sure? That's simple. Sir Belduke was a man. Well, can't really argue with that. Sir Belduke came to a mysterious end 3 months ago. A mysterious end? There are 2 things about his death that cannot be explained rationally. Firstly, the murder scene. His body was discovered in his residence, in the study. His room was locked. There was no conceivable way that crime could have been committed except by witchcraft. Isn't that what people call a locked room mystery? Back to Umineko, aren't we? Witches and locked room mysteries? What? Oh, it's nothing, really. So, what was the other mysterious thing? Secondly, until then, all incidents involving witches had been foretold in the story. Foretold in the story. In other words, predicted by the storyteller. So there was a rebellion. This was unplanned. However, or an accident. Maybe it was an accident. The murder of Sir Belduke did not appear in the story. Someone went against the storyteller, maybe? Or maybe Sir Belduke was assassinated by the storyteller, or his agents, or Darklaw's agents. Such a thing had never occurred before. So not only was this the only unsolved incident in Labyrinthia's history, but it was also the only incident not to be predicted by the storyteller. This definitely sounds worth investigating. You certainly are an interesting one, Sir Blue Knight. You really think you can solve this incident alone, when the Knights of the Inquisition have been working on it for 3 months? I must say, that is some confidence. We won't know unless we try. You may risk becoming the target of some terrifying witch's vengeance. I'm hoping that was a joke. Well, I suppose you may as well take a look. Who knows, you may even find something. Sir Belduke's residence is just beyond the town square. Ask anyone around there, they'll soon point you in the right direction. Thank you, Inquisitor Barnum. Sir Blue Knight, I believe our courtroom battles are far from over. Until we meet again in court. I'll see you then, Inquisitor. Maya, can you please get this mat away from me? I can't feel my leg. Oh, so soon. I was hoping he'd use you as a blue chew toy just one more time. Now here's the orange trail, and this is the place. This is the town square with the bell tower. Well, we've reached the square, but I wonder where the alchemist's residence is. I mean, why was he investigating the bell tower if he died at home? Hey, Nick, look over there! There's a street leading away from the square. Hey, you're right. Let's go take a look. Hey, I thought you two were working at the bakery. Are you goofing off? Now we're investigating. Well, not exactly. Actually, we thought we'd give up baking and try our hands at something else. Is that so? Sounds like a good idea. Your bread did taste a little unusual anyway. What? You mean our bread wasn't delicious? Unusual is a neutral word. But he's euphemizing. It's strange. I mean, we used so much butter and kneaded that dough so hard. Too much butter. Butter doesn't go in bread. I mean, it goes on bread, but it doesn't go in the dough. As my opinion mind, I prefer my bird with a little more fluffy and light. Oh really? So just how fluffy and light are we talking here? Well, maybe about as fluffy and light as in this puzzle. Are we jumping on clouds? Yes, we're jumping on clouds. Waka waka. These are wet noises, really. I suppose clouds should be wet. This makes these noises are kinda squishy. Orange clouds. Here is there some iron ore dust in them? The green is weirder. Oh, he's here. How do I decide when all these bounce pads made of possibly pudding and sprinkles are in the middle of the room rather than at a wall? Back up? And now there's probably just a long way down. This looks promising. Yeah, I like this place.
Maya the Magnificent strikes again. Check it out, Nick.
Wow, impressive work. I really didn't expect you to solve that. Actually, I thought the same thing too. Well, I knew I could do it. So, what were you out-of-work bakers doing hanging around here anyway? We're investigating an incident involving the alchemist. Do you know anything about it? Surely the Knights of the Inquisition are the ones you should ask. They could tell you a lot more than I can. You might be right about that. Even so, it's a right shame someone like him could get murdered. I often went to him myself to get medicine. He was always friendly and understanding. Seems like Sir Duke was a good man, at least from what I've heard so far. I just hope they manage to solve this case soon. New area, new area. No hidden puzzles though. So this is Sir Duke's residence. It definitely looks like an alchemist's house. I've never seen plants like this before. Does it look like an alchemist's house? I don't see traces of any explosions. So, what do we do now? Oh, then again, it was the potion brewing kinda alchemist. Just because the owner's deceased, we can't exactly go barging in. But have you noticed just how well kept this yard is? It looks like someone is still living here. Someone has definitely been doing the upkeep around here, that's for sure. Hey, who's that over there? What's that? Is that a spike protruding from the vase? A little sun symbol above the door. Nothing from these crows. Oh, it's a mailbox. Those are letters. The plant might not be intentionally placed there. The bell tower's really tall, but it hasn't been used. At least not recently. Or for 5 years? Where is that coin? It's right here on the ground. My sincerest apologies. I'm afraid medicaments are no longer being provided here. Huh? Did you not come here for medicaments of some kind? No, we didn't come here for that. We're here to investigate the incident, the one involving Sir Belduke. Forgive me if I'm mistaken, but you do not look like members of the Knights of the Inquisition. I'm Phoenix Wright, attorney at law. I'm a defender. And you? I'm guessing you live here? Indeed. My name is Jean Grey Earl. I was butler to the late Master Belduke. Wow, a butler! This must be my first time meeting a real one. You've met a fake one. Well, Mr. Grey, if you don't mind, I've been told that the incident involving your master was shrouded in mystery. Has it got something to do with the Great Witch Bezella? We're trying to investigate that at the moment. The Great Witch Bezella. Am I right in supposing that you are defending Espella Cantabella? Well, actually, yes we are. So you know Espella, do you? That goes without saying. Everyone around here knows her. Do you think you can help us? We're here looking for leads. While he was alive, the Master taught me the value of investigating the truth that governs the natural world. If you too are investigating the truth, then it would be against his teachings for me to not cooperate with you. You see? Investigations, science, it's all about the pursuit of knowledge. Would you both like to come in? We can discuss the matter further inside. That would be great. Thank you, Mr. Grey Earl. Whoa, spoken like a true butler. He's a pretty cool guy, isn't he, Nick? What is this room? This is the room that Master Belduke kindly provided as my accommodation. So, is this the room where the incident took place? That would be the Master's study. It is the room right next door. However, the state of the room has been carefully preserved since the incident 3 months ago. As such, entry into the room is not currently permitted. Really? Bummer. Is that by order of the Knights of the Inquisition, by any chance? Yes. And as I have lived with Master since an early age, they also decided it would be only fitting for me to stay on and keep the place in order. So, you've been looking after the place ever since Sir Belduke passed away? Yes, that's correct. Now then, is there anything further you wish to discuss? Check if there's anything in the place, in the house. There are coins. No puzzles in the lab house. What's in the bottles? It might be dangerous chemicals. Oh, something's in these scrolls. There's roses. As I mentioned a moment ago, I know very little about this matter. As a matter of fact, it might be better to ask the Inquisitors. I can tell you about one thing though, namely what occurred before the incident. Before the incident? Yes. It was 3 months ago, around the time that Master Belduke was murdered. Did he get in a fight with someone? Does someone have a motive?
We were on our way back from collecting specimens for research, and it was already into the small hours of the morning. There was a thunderstorm on the way, and as the storm drew nearer, we quickly made our way home.
It spawned out of flames.
Anyone would have been surprised at what we saw. But Master Belduke, well, how can I put this? He reacted in a most peculiar way. Unlike others who saw it, he seemed unsettled, as if he was truly afraid of something.
Oh. Was it related to a failed experiment of his? Some magitech?
After that bell tower appeared, he changed completely. Master Belduke became a different man.
Though he's an alchemist. He does... not some kind of high-tech artificer type. He's a potion brewer. Wait a second. Did you just say a bell tower appeared? Hey, that explains it. It must be what High Inquisitor Darklaw meant when she mentioned an incident involving the bell tower. To this day, I do not know what the Master was so afraid of. Do you think it was connected in some way to his death? I think it must have been magic. I mean, for a bell tower to just appear like that. Oh yeah, whoever made it appear might have been his enemy. Yeah. It was a sign that she was coming for him. Mr. Grey Earl, do you mind if we have a look around? I know that the Inquisitors have already carried a full investigation, but there just might be a clue or two with some kind of connection to the Great Witch. Well, I suppose. Providing I am allowed to accompany you, of course. There is sensitive equipment everywhere, and it is my responsibility to take care of it. I understand. We'll be careful. I wonder how the professor and Luke are doing with their visit to the storyteller. Yeah, I've been wondering about that too. A chance to meet Labyrinthia's creator. Let's just hope they don't upset the guy and have some terrible plot twist written about them. It would only happen if it was you who visited the storyteller, Nick. The professor would never let anything like that happen. I've got a feeling they'll come back with some pretty useful leads. We have to do our best too, Nick. Let's keep up our side of this investigation. You got it, Maya. We're all in this together. Come on, let's see what we can find. That's the spirit. Cutscene? No? New mystery, of course, the bell tower. Let's count it as one mystery. The Great Witch Bezella will be tried in the court? That will be Labyrinthia's final chapter. A fitting end for a town ruled by witches and their magic. Am I to believe that this final chapter has already begun? That is correct, and there is no way you can possibly change its final outcome. I wonder about that. You see, I gave my word to a young lady. I promised that without fail I would be able to rescue her. If I'm not mistaken, the Great Witch trial will begin in 2 weeks' time, the same day on which you will hold your next parade. I believe that should give us sufficient time to show you what we can do. Such a smug countenance. I find it intolerable. I beg your pardon? 2 weeks from now, you say? I'm afraid that information is out of date, Professor Layton. At least it's not an autopsy report. Out of date? What do you mean? My parade will be held the day after tomorrow, according to the amended story. What? The day after tomorrow? That's not fair. Now, that's the kind of countenance I want from the characters in my story. What? That's what I do. Didn't you know? I decide the fate of characters who have no knowledge of their future. And maybe he's the villain? It would appear that you are not yet fully aware of the gravity of the situation. Let me see now. Just for fun, I'll write you a little story. A story full of surprises and a few tears. I shall enjoy seeing the emotion of the characters as they play their parts. A story for us! Stories are a fixture of this town. You would be wise to embrace them. Let's see. I think we need a stimulating incident. We shall have a witch, some witchcraft, and perhaps a little death. Death? You can't. Oh, but I can. Let me see. This is a golden opportunity to use the alchemist's residence. How about this? Your comrade meets with death by golden curse in the alchemist's residence. Oh no. This could be a truly interesting story. No way! Feel free to act as you wish when playing your role in the story. How can you... The beginning of a new tragedy or farce. The victim of a golden curse lies in the dwelling of a user of false alchemy. A man from afar falls to a golden curse, and a woman from afar cries out in grief. The woman is captured, her dark trial begins. The fiery pit will cleanse all her sins. Oh no! Of course, Maya gets arrested. A man from afar falls to a golden curse, and a woman from afar cries out in grief. This must be referring to Maya and Mr. Wright. If we don't do something, Mr. Wright and Miss Fay will be in danger. There's no time to lose, look. Let's go and find them. Right you are, Professor. The story has already been written. And no matter what you do, you will not change the result. I do not agree. What we do next can change the future in any number of ways. I'm sure that's what you want to believe. In fact, a naive outburst like that could be a poignant plot twist. Please be my guest. Your words may help to raise the tension and bring a little excitement to my story. You monster! Look, now is not the time. We need to help Mr. Wright and Maya. Okay, let's go, Professor. Better hurry. Professor, do you hear a flapping sound coming this way? Is there an owl coming? The sound of a large bird, perhaps. An eagle, then? A stork? It's an owl. Ah, that's the owl that we saw in the audience room. It's holding a letter in its mouth, not to mention watching us intently. Perhaps he wants to tell us something. I'll try talking to him to see what he wants. What can we do for you? I've got it, Professor. Hoot, that's the owl. Says the letter was delivered to the storyteller 3 months ago. To the storyteller? If that's so, then we can't very well keep it. After all, it's wrong to read letters addressed to someone else. That's what the owl said. But he also said there's absolutely nothing written on the sheets of parchment inside the envelope. Oh ho ho, an alchemist. Look, Professor. See, they're totally blank. A letter with nothing written on it. That is indeed most curious. And again, you might not need alchemy. Just some lemon juice. And another thing, Professor. The owl said this letter was sent by the alchemist. What's that, my boy? Written by the alchemist? Do you remember what the storyteller wrote in that story he penned a moment ago? A victim of a golden curse lies in the dwelling of a user of false alchemy, which probably means the place at which this incident will occur is the home of the one who sent this letter. In other words, at the alchemist's house, right, Professor? It appears that the address of the sender, Sir Belduke, is written on the envelope, which means we had better make our way there immediately. Thanks, Mr. Hoot. The address on the envelope is somewhere near the town square. That's a little far from here, Professor. We better not make it. We might not make it in time. I think we'd better run. Look, my boy, we have the need to rent a steed. I think you're right, Professor. That would be far quicker than running. Quickly, look. There's no time to lose. Hey, easy boy. This horse is certainly spirited. Say, Nick, have you noticed how the color of that wall is different from all the other walls in this room? I think I've investigated enough crime scenes by now to notice something as obvious as that, Maya. I'm embarrassed to admit it, but actually there was a small fire here a while ago. It was my fault. The wall ended up a little bit singed in the process. Now that you mention it, there are some signs of a fire on the floor too. Yes, that's correct. Anyway, I decided to paint the wall myself. Looks like Mr. Grey Earl is way handier with his herbs than with a paintbrush. I lit a candle set fire to some dry straw. In all my time as a butler, I've never made such a major blunder. Nah, it's not that bad. You're being a little hard on yourself. That's right, it's not so bad. You think that's bad? You should see Nick try and do the laundry. Now that's a major blunder. Okay, that was one time. Anyways, let's go check out Mr. Belduke's study. While we're there, could you show us around your room a little, Mr. Grey Earl? Of course. If it will bring you any closer to finding the truth, be my guest. However, as Knights of the Inquisition have ordered that the crime scene be left untouched, I think, I must ask that you refrain from touching anything while you are in the study. Sure, we'll be careful. Mr. Grey Earl, there's something I was hoping to ask you. Certainly. What is it? This murder is the only unsolved case involving magic, is that right? Yes, that is correct. Is it really true that this crime would have been impossible without the use of witchcraft? That is the conclusion to which the Knights and the High Inquisitor herself came. The crime took place behind a locked door, for one thing, which already leads to suspicions of witchcraft. Besides, the master was loved by many people, and wasn't at all the type to make enemies. He was kind to everyone, not to mention sincere. It had always been an honor to serve him. I cannot believe that anyone other than a witch would want to harm him. Hey, Nick! How do you think the culprit got into a sealed room anyway? Well, it was a witch, right? So I guess she used magic to get inside. I think we should stop calling the culprit a witch. How about magician? I'm not sure we need to be sweating over semantics. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time.